the importance of the work-life balance. Now, we know, especially if you don't have this in your life, you have to find a way to make work for you. Okay, so the work-life balance. Now, hello, people. Life. You're supposed to have a life. You ain't supposed to be working yourself to death. Because what's the point? If you work so much that you never see your friends and family, you never have time to chill out and do the things you enjoy, then what is the point of working? Because work is supposed to just give you that financial money and freedom to do, to live your life and have a life. You know when people say get a life? Listen, sometimes you need to really get one. If you're constantly working, that is just so unhealthy. And for me, my biggest problems are sleep and rest, taking time away and catching up with friends and family. That's a big issue for me, and I'm getting into trouble for it now. It's a problem, and I realized, okay.
Well, are you getting into trouble from your people that's around you because they're bringing it up?
In fact, yeah, you get people that. Remember, I told you, K-Rose, I lost so many friends because it got to the point where, when they say to you, I've said this before, but when they say, come out to play, let's do this, let's do that. And if you're constantly, I can't, ain't got no money, I'm constantly working, can't. If you constantly keep telling people that, they get fed up and they just start asking.
Yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
You're like, oh, I got no friends left, like say when you finally think, let me take a break. Oh, I'd like to go to the cinema. Oh, who can I ask to go with me? No, I don't want to talk to you no more. Because the amount of times that they said, come do this, let's do that, and you were trying to make it work and you couldn't make it work. And they get fed up.
Well, but that's why if you realize it, though, which is the key thing, if you just don't care or you say, because there are some people that are also on the other side of the spectrum that are making good money, they're rich, and they still don't take the time to interact with people. They still overwork.
Well, then, that's a problem. That's a big problem then. Because basically, if you know that you can, then why wouldn't you? Because you've made it. You've become successful. See, this is the thing. For me, it was always a point of I was killing myself, as it were, because I was trying to become successful. And then I was like, okay, when you finally can say, yes, I can take time off. But the thing is, if those aren't your true friends, they won't really still see with you to wait for you to get to that point. Because obviously they don't understand that if I want to become successful, I have to work, people. I have got to work. You've got to put the work in. That's it. Just because I got to the point, K-Rose, where I was so tired, right, that I felt, there's times I'd get up and I'd look absolutely shattered. And I felt like I was going to physically keel over. That's not healthy.
No, and you can't keep working hard either if you're about to keel over, okay?
There you go, because you're going to keel over and you ain't going to get back up for a long time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, because I'm one of them people, I know this now, I have consciously acknowledged that I am a workaholic. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, but you need to know when your boundaries are up, when your boundaries are creeping up on you and you're like, okay, I need to just slow my roll on this thing. I need to, because, link 7, manage your work, you manage your life. And that really sums it up. I had to get to that mindset. Manage your work, because then you will be managing your life, not killing yourself and having no life. You will manage your life, because I get this from my family as well. It's like, you don't want to talk to me. You never answer my calls. You're never around. And it's not to the point. I'm telling you. And even when I say to them, okay, let's have a chat, and they think I'm being horrible if I say to them, let's have a chat on Skype or something. But I'm thinking, at least I'm trying to keep in contact with you.
Right.
Because a lot of them, they don't live, sometimes your family may live far away. So obviously I don't want to make a 2-3 hour trip, or sometimes they don't even live in the same country. Hello, technology means that we can keep in contact better. So that part of it, I don't know why they're giving me grief. Because remember, I told them, well, we've been here. I told them many moons ago, let's, stay in contact. Let's do it online. And they looked at me like I had 3 heads. And I was busy. So I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm telling you, let's talk this way. Now they've tried it. They love it.
But
he loves it.
We couldn't do this really in most of my entire lifetime, other than maybe 5-10 years ago. This didn't exist. We had to do long distance charges, and that was higher than having a regular phone bill. And so you had to, I got to call you at so-and-so when the rates are lower. all this, we have a better technology-filled world, but then you have people that don't want to, you have to drag them kicking and screaming into it.
Absolutely, and they better not lie and say no different, because they know I had to drag them kicking and screaming, and they were still like, oh no, why can't you just call me? Listen, don't mess with me again. I told you what to do. If you don't want to get on it, just try it. If you don't like it, then fair enough. I'll just keep emailing you and we can, be ships passing in the night. That's fine. But like I said, I have a particular sister. Once she got on it, okay, well, she loves it.
And that's normally what happens, isn't it? They just, no, I am not going to touch this thing that has 4 wheels and moves. I'm not going to do this. Then you get them in there and they can't stop driving. Oh, you need me to go somewhere? You want me to go somewhere? I'll take you there.
She loves it. She's just like, she's crazy over it now, because she's realized that what I was trying to say, works. I said to her, just treat it like a normal phone call. Just trust me on this, and you will see. Just trust me. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. Okay, I will help you set it up. Let's go. Just let's do it. Now she loves it, and we're all now more in communication, whereas we wasn't so much before. And partly because I was just working like a crazy fool. I was working constantly.
But they're able to, the other piece of this, which is, to me, sometimes it's a kiss of death also. When you can see someone, even if it's for a few minutes, that's really good to me. I don't get to see my mother enough, because my mother is going to be 90, God willing, here soon next year. Having her on Skype would be lovely, but it's not practical. And so I haven't seen her in a little while. And it would be great to have her have the ability to be on Skype. So I'm going to try and get some of my nieces and nephews to go by, hey, put mom on Skype so I can see her and talk to her and things like that.
Absolutely.
Because that would be fun.
Oh, I think she would love it, because remember, that's the beauty of it. Because of the video, they can actually see you and just talk to you as normal, but it just means that they don't have to worry about the high bills, and all they need is the internet. And if they got the internet, it's away you go kind of thing. And you just get them a good camera so they can see you. Because another thing that she was saying to me is, I want to see the nieces and nephews. And I said, okay, well, you need a camera. Because she didn't realize she didn't have a camera, because she said, I can't see you. And then I said to her, have you got a camera? And then she was like, oh, no, I don't. And I said, yeah, that's why you can't see me, sort of thing. Because she was like, can you see me? And I was like, well, no, you can, because I turned my camera on, and then she kept saying, I can't, it's not working. And then I realized, no, you don't have a camera, do you? That's why it won't come on, sort of thing. Because I was trying to get her to set it up, and then I realized, no, you don't actually have one. So I said to her, just get a camera. But it's like, then people say, oh, but I don't want to buy an expensive one. I said, well, no, you don't have to buy an expensive one. But obviously you just want them to be able to see you.
Sometimes. It's not even all the time.
That's right. I said to her, you don't have to turn it on, because this is another thing. I have to say this, Carol, and people out there, especially black people, don't get upset, but I'm just going to say it, right? Sometimes, right? I'm just going to say it. Black people are strange when it comes to this Skype, right? I've had to say to so many people, listen, I know you are a bit funny about turning on your camera. Don't worry. I don't need to see you. Okay, just I know you laugh at me when I say that, but I have to tell them this, because I think they assume that you have to turn your camera on. I'm like, no, we can just treat it like a video call. Just treat it like a normal phone call. You don't have to turn your camera on. If you ain't quite copacetic with how you're looking, don't worry. I don't need to see you looking crazy. Turn it on. That's fine. Look, I ain't calling to see what you look like. I just calling to talk to you, see if you're all right.
Well, I mean, along those lines, everyone that, you're listening to the show, you're listening to this podcast, and we haven't said it in so long because we just assume everybody knows it. Avani is sitting in London right now as we do this show, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. And we physically have never been in the same space ever. Period. And Avani, we can count the time we both have been on Skype video, right? I mean, it's been...
Yeah, we don't do it that often.
Because we use the audio, because it's radio and podcasting, etc. And it's not to say that we couldn't do video every show.
I know.
We just, it's not necessarily necessary for us. No. So that's why you're telling people something that they need to understand. Know the technology, but you don't have to have the camera on all the time.
No, you don't. And once I explained that to her in particular, she was, she was like, oh, okay. And now the irony, isn't it funny? The irony is now she actually wants to have a camera because she's realized that now she can talk to her nieces and nephews, abroad. And obviously she wants them to see it because she said, I want them to show me stuff. If they want to show me their homework or whatever, they'll be able to put it to the camera and show it to me. And I'm like, yes, but they need to see you for that. You need to get a camera too.
Yeah, but it's something where, and we've talked about it a lot, technology is there, and it's there as a useful tool. Mm-hmm. People should not be afraid of it. Don't think that, because it is possible, so I don't want to freak people out now, but, just watch where you go on the internet so that you don't get viruses and you don't bump into things where people can control parts of your computer. Just be careful with what you have. But I tell people all the time, the advantage to controlling my PCs is very minimal. As opposed to controlling the PCs in corporations or in government. So they're not really looking to bother me as long as I stay out of some of those sites that are going to be weird and put a virus on my computer. They're not trying to look at my camera and turn my camera on and look at my knucklehead sitting there.
No. People, I mentioned earlier, I have to do this, K-Rose, because I really want to make this point. I mentioned earlier that we have a special guest quote for today's show, and it is obviously about today's show, the work-life balance, and this quote is from Mark Rice Oxley, and he is the head of special projects at the Guardian newspaper here in the UK, and he's also an author. Now, I mentioned, didn't I, that he had written an article, link 20, K-Rose. This is the article he wrote, which I asked him to kindly give me a quote about, because I saw it and I thought, oh my God, this is so true. The article is called "We Only Get One Life, Don't Spend It All at Work," okay? And this is in praise of the 4-day week, the 4-day working week, okay? And he basically is, it's saying, be mindful. You don't need to kill yourself to just survive. You need to work, right? Yes, we all need to work, but you need to have that balance so that you can take enough rest and get enough breaks and spend time with friends and family and be able to come back to your work refreshed and ready to go. And obviously, as I said, he is an advocate for the 4-day working week. Because he's saying making Thursday the new Friday would make us healthier, create more jobs, and boost the economy. I mean, Keros, do you agree with that, would you say?
Well, my Thursdays are my Fridays. I adhere to that. I think that's a great idea.
So people, I want to know what you guys think. Please let me know at Ask Avani Show. Let me know. Come through and tell me. Because if you could get a 4-day week, even a 3-day week, being super greedy now. If you could get that, would you take it, or would you feel guilty and say, but I feel that I should work, even if I work from home, I should work the extra day, I should still do the Friday, especially if you have family now, especially if you have children and stuff, would you think, okay, I really want to, because this is another thing I've noticed, a lot of parents say one of their biggest regrets is that they missed out on a lot of their kids' lives because they were constantly working. Obviously you're working to bring in the money to keep a roof over your heads and stuff, but do you want to miss every single thing that they're doing because you can't get away from work on time because you're constantly doing the overtime, constantly in that meeting or whatever? Do you really want to feel that way? It's not really fair, is it, sort of thing, to be constantly at work all the time?
No, in that, because I can relate to that. That's a cop-out type thing. To say that, well, if I'm not working, you're not going to be growing. No, you can do better as far as people. I made sure I understood that, because I missed like a chunk of one of my son's lives, and I looked back at it and I was like, what was I doing when he was here? I don't remember this.
Oh God, it's even worse then when you can't even say, okay, well, this is the reason, to a degree, even though you would have preferred to be. But if it goes by in such a flash, is the point I'm making.
Right.
Because obviously the special guest quote that Mark Rice Oxley has said, basically he said, 4-day weeks are better for balance, mental health, equality, job creation, relationships, and parenting. It gives people a chance to do something else with their lives other than just slaving away. So I want to know, what do you think, people? Do you agree? Like I said, would you like to have a 4-day working week? I mean, already, if you don't already have, working part-time or have reduced working hours that suit your life and commitments. I want to know, I mean, K-Rose, if you were working as, for someone else, because obviously as an entrepreneur, you don't do that. But I'm just asking you, hypothetically speaking, would you like to have a 4-day week? Would you have preferred to have a 4-day week way back when you were working for someone else? Because you said you missed some of your kids' lives,